Right now, somewhere in the world, a child opens a notebook with a sigh. It feels like the most ordinary thing on earth: homework. Most people see it as a boring school task, something to finish before dinner, something to complain about, then forget. But what if that simple stack of paper helped shape the modern world? What if the story of homework is really the story of how societies decided what kind of people they wanted children to become? Think about your own life: a pencil, a notebook, a laptop, an AI assistant that can explain almost any question in seconds. It all feels effortless, almost too normal to notice. Now imagine a world where none of that exists. No bright desk lamp, no internet, no printer, no search bar. Even writing one page could take hours. One mistake could mean starting all over again. That tiny assignment suddenly becomes something much bigger. It becomes a test of patience, a test of discipline, sometimes even a test of survival. And as education spread, something else quietly grew beside it. Not just schools, an entire economy. Paper mills, notebook factories, textbook publishers, tutoring companies. Today, giant education businesses earn billions from a system that begins with one simple instruction: finish this at home. Homework isn't just about learning. It's about power, culture, work, money, and one question almost nobody ever asks. Because before homework became an assignment, it was something far more important. Close your notebook for a second. Now erase the classroom. There are no desks, no school bells, no report cards, not even the word homework. A young boy sits on the floor beside his father. Instead of solving math problems, he copies strange symbols onto a piece of papyrus. His hand shakes. If he makes one mistake, he must begin again. Not because a teacher is angry, because those words matter. They carry laws, stories, trade records, prayers. In this world, writing is not just a skill, it is power. Only a small number of people can read. Even fewer can write. That makes every written word valuable. So children practice again and again, not to earn a grade, to keep knowledge alive. As civilizations grow, the same idea appears in different forms. Greek students repeat speeches until every word feels natural. Roman children copy lessons onto wax tablets. Medieval monks spend endless hours writing sacred texts by candlelight. The tools change, the places change, but one thing stays the same. Learning does not end when the lesson ends. It continues through practice, at home, in monasteries, in workshops, wherever knowledge can survive. What we now call homework wasn't invented overnight. It slowly grew from one simple belief: the human mind remembers better when the hands repeat. But if practice began as a way to preserve knowledge, how did it become something millions of children would one day dread? Everything changes when the world begins to move faster. Small villages become crowded cities. Factories rise above the skyline. The sound of birds is replaced by the sound of machines. Suddenly, nations don't just need educated people. They need reliable workers, people who arrive on time, follow instructions, finish tasks, do the same job day after day. Schools begin to change with the world around them. The classroom starts to look surprisingly familiar. Rows of desks. One bell tells you when to start. Another tells you when to stop. Everyone follows the same schedule. Everyone works toward the same goal. Then comes one simple idea. If students can practice at school, why not continue at home? Homework stretches the school day without building another classroom. It gives students more time to read, write, solve problems, and prepare for increasingly important exams. For many educators, it is a practical solution. For many students, it feels like the school day never truly ends. The routine becomes so common that few people stop to question it. It begins to shape more than grades. It shapes habits, planning ahead, meeting deadlines, working alone, finishing a task even when no one is watching. These are the same habits that many workplaces later expect. Was that always the intention? History doesn't give us one simple answer. Education changed for many reasons, and different countries followed different paths. But one thing is clear. As homework spread, it quietly reached far beyond the classroom. And while children carried books home each evening, someone else discovered there was a fortune to be made from what they carried. Every homework assignment begins with something small: a notebook, a pencil, a textbook. They seem ordinary, almost invisible, but together they created one of the biggest education markets in history. As more children went to school, the demand exploded. Families needed paper, schools needed books, teachers needed workbooks. Printers worked day and night. Paper mills grew larger. Factories filled shelves with pencils, rulers, folders, and backpacks. One assignment at a time, an entire industry came to life. Then the business became even bigger. Textbook publishers didn't just sell books, they released new editions. Schools updated reading lists. Families bought new copies, again and again. Soon, homework reached beyond paper. Tutoring companies promised better grades. Test preparation businesses sold confidence. Educational software turned practice into subscriptions. Today, digital platforms, learning apps, and online homework tools are part of a global industry worth billions. Some companies genuinely help students learn. Others compete fiercely for schools, parents, and students in a crowded marketplace. The line between education and business can sometimes feel surprisingly thin. The assignment may be free, but the system surrounding it often isn't. Every page completed, every workbook replaced, every online account renewed. Small choices repeated millions of times become enormous markets. Homework was no longer just an educational habit, it had become an economic engine. But after all that money, paper, and effort, one uncomfortable question still refuses to go away. Does homework actually work? Ask 10 people about homework. You might hear 10 different answers. One person says it builds discipline. Another says it steals childhood. A parent believes it prepares kids for the future. A student just wants one evening without another assignment. For years, researchers have asked the same question: does homework actually help? The answer is more complicated than most people expect. For younger children, giving more homework doesn't always lead to better learning. Practice can help, but too much can bring stress, frustration, and less time for sleep or play. For older students, thoughtful homework can strengthen skills, especially when it reinforces what was learned in class. The key isn't simply more homework, it's better homework. Around the world, countries have taken different paths. Some have reduced homework for younger students. Others continue to rely heavily on it, especially where competitive exams shape educational opportunities. The debate is far from settled. Homework can build independence. It can also create pressure. Both ideas can be true at the same time. So why does it survive? Because every generation keeps asking the same question. How do we prepare children for a future no one can fully predict? Homework has been one answer. Not the only answer, and maybe not the final one. Because today, something new is entering the classroom. Something that could change homework more than paper, pencils, or even the printing press ever did. What happens when the student is no longer the smartest mind doing the assignment? A student sits down after school. But this time, there is no heavy textbook, no dictionary, no stack of notes. Instead, they open a laptop and ask an AI assistant for help. In seconds, the screen fills with answers. A math problem is explained. A history topic is summarized. A rough paragraph becomes a polished essay. What once took hours can now happen in minutes. For teachers, this creates a new challenge. How do you know what a student understands and what a machine created? Some schools are changing the way they give homework. More projects, more discussion, more problem solving, less copying, less memorizing. The goal is no longer just to finish the assignment. It's to think through it. Technology has transformed homework before. The printing press spread books. Cheap paper made writing easier. The internet put libraries into every home. Now AI may become the next turning point. Not because learning is disappearing, but because the way we learn is changing again. Just as ancient scribes could never imagine printed textbooks, and Victorian teachers could never imagine online classrooms, we may not yet understand what homework will look like a generation from now. One thing, however, has never changed. Every society has searched for a way to pass knowledge to the next generation. The tools evolve. The question stays the same. And when you finally see where that question began, an ordinary homework assignment will never look ordinary again. Tonight, millions of children will hear the same words. Don't forget your homework. It sounds so ordinary, so small, so forgettable. But hidden inside that simple sentence is a story that stretches across thousands of years. A child once copied symbols onto papyrus so knowledge wouldn't disappear. A monk spent long nights preserving books by candlelight. A Victorian student filled page after page with ink, hoping not to make a mistake. A modern teenager opens a laptop instead. The tools have changed. The goal has never truly disappeared. Every generation has faced the same challenge. How do you pass knowledge from one child to the next? Homework became one answer, not because it was perfect, but because societies believed learning should continue after the classroom door closed. Along the way, homework shaped more than education. It helped grow publishing companies. It fueled industries that made paper, pencils, backpacks, and software. It influenced routines, expectations, and even the way many people think about work. Whether you love homework or hate it, its story is far bigger than a stack of worksheets. It's the story of civilization trying to preserve what it knows and prepare for what comes next. So the next time you see a notebook lying on a desk, remember this: you're not looking at a simple school assignment. You're looking at the latest chapter in one of humanity's oldest ideas.